It is the 8th of July, 2021. This is WIKISPEED Standup. Go ahead, Lauren.
It's Lawrence Salter, Gabriel Island, British Columbia, Canada. Uh, can you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay. Okay. So the past week didn't do very much. Looked over some Python things and Python sites to refresh my memory from the course I took last year. Uh, and also went over some of the level sensor stuff, but I have something about that in crosstalk. Coming week, actually today in crosstalk also, I'd like to re-establish the ability to do the recording myself, and other things this week. Probably read up more on the level sensor and a little more Python, and maybe next week I'll touch base with Joe about the charitable status. And blocks are I general kind of catching up after my preoccupied spring. That's it for me.
Okay. I actually had a fairly busy week. The tank level project, I found the little USB battery pack that I wanted to use. It doesn't quite fit inside the closure like I thought it would, but it really helped. So I got the tank level, just the bare tank level sensor with the ESP32 working on just a barrel level in a barrel, 45-gallon drum, and so I did that, and then I took video of a little bit of the setup and what it looks like when it's working. Filled the barrel up. I think I stopped it 4 or 5 times and took pictures of the values that came back. So that was good. I couldn't get the pause to work on my recording, so I still have to take all of the videos and paste them together, but it shouldn't be that bad. Mobile battery inverter. My son tested out the inverter. He was wanting to use it for a camping trip, and it turns out that my really steal of a deal open box as is inverter from Canadian Tire does in fact not work. So I guess it wasn't that good a deal because it doesn't work. I need to source a new inverter. And the Raspberry Pi kit for the Sunfounder, the instructions that I was looking at for using Ross mentioned that I had to get a USB Wi-Fi adapter, and I had to load drivers for it and stuff. The Raspberry Pi 3B Plus has built-in Wi-Fi, so I missed that, and that for that reason I've wasted the last 6 months trying to buy stuff I don't need and load stuff I don't need and stuff. So I guess it was removing a block that I didn't know I had, but it was kind of disappointing. But it's good that I can make progress on it. This coming week, I'm hoping to get into that ROS robot operating system and work through a demo. I have taken a video of the operational tank level, but I need to paste it together and post it. I was hoping to do video of the tank level with the repeater, operational and posting as well, and set up the wireless for the Sunfounder Pi, perform some tests, and drive the car around, that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm planning to do this next week, and I guess blocks are none, but I had blocks that are none before. I guess I didn't realize that it was actually a block that I thought I needed a USB stick for the Wi-Fi. Anyway, back to you, Lauren.
Something was blocking the unmute. Okay, so I'm giving myself a 4, the team a 10, and I'm going to skip the process improvement, and that's it for me with the bookmark or the note that I want to do crosstalk.
Okay, I got more done than I was planning to, so I guess I'm at a 10. I'm going to go with an 8 for the team. And process improvement, I agree. We should probably keep skipping that until we can get more people on the call. So what would you like to talk about in the crosstalk?
Yeah, so I want to ask about where to find the part list. I'm looking at a thread to Team WIKISPEED right now from, just a second. Is that where I find it anyways? August 2020.
For the tank level?
Yeah.
I thought that was in Wiki Project.
Yeah, I was looking around in Wiki Projects. How long ago? Because I was looking at the most recent files. If it's a file, it was March.
It's not recent.
Okay, all right. I'll keep looking. It's okay. You don't have to tell me just where it is.
No, I will. I'll go to Wiki Project and. Sorry, I keep calling it Wiki Project. It's Wiki Factory. Oh, that's not the version of the README that I thought was there. Okay. So there's no parse list up there. Okay, I will fix that.
Okay. And
sorry about that.
It's okay. Let's see. Yeah, that was the main thing I'm doing.
What are you using for a laptop right now?
I don't have a reliable laptop. I've got a laptop with where I had to take out the battery for it to work. So just have and then plug it in.
Okay, so you have something that'll run the Arduino IDE?
Oh, for Windows?
Yes.
Windows box? Not really. I mean, I can set up but I don't know if this will work. I can set up a VBox with Windows, but I have to actually buy a copy of Windows unless I can convince them to transfer my license from the laptop, and I'm told that's not easy.
Well, yeah, I don't know how easy it is. I have never successfully transferred a Windows license in my life. Okay, well, it's going to be tough for you to load anything onto the ESP32 without having a Windows machine.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Actually, as far as I know, you might be able to load the Arduino IDE on a Mac, but
yeah, no, never, not interested. So, I mean, my son has Macs, but I don't use them. So, yeah, no, that's really good to know. And how can that be?
You can,
how can
you can
do
that.
Windows not on Linux?
Yeah, there apparently are versions for Linux. I'm just looking at the download page. Yeah. I guess just because I haven't done it doesn't mean it's not there.
it should have appeared before or simultaneous with the Windows version because of the nature of Arduino.
Yeah, so there's Windows 7, a Windows app for 8 or 10, and then Linux, you got 32-bit, 64-bit, and then 32-bit ARM and 64-bit ARM, so it's actually quite well supported.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, all right. Cool.
Anything else you want to discuss?
And are you using CircuitPython?
No. I'm just using the ESP32 with the Arduino IDE. CircuitPython's pretty heavy.
Okay.
It takes up most of the resources on the CPU.
Okay, good to know.
It's interpreted. It's nice, but it chews CPU time.
Yeah. So ESP32 is that's the Arduino specific.
Yeah, the ESP32 is a non-Arduino that works with the Arduino integrated development library and stuff. It is probably 4 times more powerful than a comparable Arduino, and it has a lot of nice stuff built into it. It has Bluetooth, it has Wi-Fi.
Oh, so you're talking about the hardware?
I'm talking about the hardware.
Yeah, so I missed that whole thing. So you switched to one of the many alternatives, Arduino compatible type alternatives.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, for the amount of money that it was going to cost me to buy a Bluetooth interface for a real Arduino,
right?
I could buy a ESP32.
And where did you get it?
Amazon.
Okay.
And the parts list, I guess the description in WikiFactory has a link. The problem with linking to Amazon is that when that particular device isn't available anymore,
no, I get it.
The link is broken and it doesn't look
better to have a full description and just look it up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm interested and excited in both of the things actually because I'm running now. I ran 10K yesterday, 5K, and lifted weights today. So.
Wow.
I'm back looking for probably a virtual marathon or half marathon. And so then I'm hoping by fall to have some kind of LRW and show up with it and see what happens. I'm almost thinking, you're gonna call the press. I have a friend who he promotes things he loves since high school. He rents theaters and he manages theaters. But he never, ever advertises beyond him walking around with a staple gun. But he's not done very well putting things up. But he gets a huge amount of publicity because they love him because he's so interesting and always brings new stuff. And that's the only thing he shows is stuff you won't ever see anywhere else. So musicians and movies. Anyway, so he just has a relationship with all the entertainment writers and everything in Toronto, and he just tells them what's coming up, and they talk to him, and he gets all the publicity he needs. So I'm thinking, contact some kind of press. This would be have to be in person, or would be better in person, like for an actual marathon. And today I'm feeling discouraged about that with all the news about Tokyo.
So I haven't been listening to the news today, but so Alberta is open. There's no requirement for masks in public anymore.
Yeah.
And Saskatchewan, we're going to hit there on the 11th, so 3 more days.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you're going to be hitting that anytime soon.
BC is.
Oh,
BC,
okay.
BC dropped the mask mandate, they said you still may want to consider a mask, but they dropped the mask mandate. So
when did they do that?
July 1st, I think.
Okay. Because last I read, Manitoba is looking at maybe Labor Day.
Yeah.
Which is, quite a ways away.
Yeah. No, this is my own, I was, keen on, and I'm still, we're allowed to go to Vancouver now. Before you weren't allowed to. There was a restriction within the province. You couldn't go from health region to health region because the Lower Mainland had these very high rates and everybody else didn't. Okay. So they put in that, and but the numbers are today was a little high. It was 60 or something cases and 1 death, but it's been pretty low. 4 or 5 million people.
Yeah, actually, I think we're somewhere in the 20 to 30 range, and we've only got 1 million, so that's substantially, per capita more than what you just said.
Anyway, the thing in Tokyo is they just canceled the in-person. They had already canceled the foreign in-person spectators. Now they canceled all they declared a state of emergency in Tokyo with rising cases and variants. And there will be no spectators at any Olympic events in Tokyo. Not necessarily other places where there's, actually there was a guy talking about the race walking in the marathon, and that's going to be way up north in Hokkaido, and they may have spectators there.
Oh, okay.
But and there's stuff happening in Australia. The places that were really, really safe, there's some bit of rising cases, still tiny compared to most countries, but and UK especially, they're at 30,000 cases a day or something.
Wow.
Rising.
Yeah.
They're worried it's going to go up to 100,000. Boris Johnson is still going ahead with the opening up, but the stock market tumbled because the news is not good. Anyway, and so that's made me a little less keen about lining up a marathon to go to. Marathon's pretty safe, especially if I could not have to stay in a hotel. I've stayed in a hotel in the middle of things in Vancouver for an essential appointment. So, and I mean, I was, for my treatments, I was, in very risky places, but so, but not, yeah. So I'm still keen, and this would be better to pick a popular marathon, because then I could tell some press that I am going to bring this device, and I don't know if they're going to reject it, and it would be kind of newsworthy, even if they reject it.
I don't think this is going to happen this year, because we're not very far along in our little Red Wagon project.
Yeah, so next spring there's the BMO Marathon, is 10,000 people in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that would be a good thing. There's a thing I like in Arizona, which is the Apache Junction. It's the Superstition Mountain. And there's a bunch of names. Man, I'd have to get my T-shirt or one of my badges. Anyways, it's a marathon, and it's named after the lost. Oh yeah, it's the lost mine in the Superstition Mountains. Famous story about everyone who found that many people have died trying to find the mine. It's supposed to be cursed and everything. So.
Okay.
Anyway, it's cool. It's a little town outside of Phoenix, about 30 miles east of Phoenix, Apache Junction. And
yeah, I remember a Superstition Springs Mall in that area somewhere.
Yeah. And it's kind of it's smallish, but very of the best by far, because you run through the desert in February, so it's nice. And it starts at 7 in the morning. The marathon starts, the half marathon starts at 7:30. So by the end, it's hot, but most of it, when you're starting, it's not hot.
Okay. Alrighty, I guess we'll stop the recording, and then I think we're done.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.